In advertising and marketing, people use buzzwords to get your attention. Sometimes they borrow street slang. Others are standard English words like life and real.
Yeah, the most recent example began on the fashion runways, and now it's everywhere. Early show contributor Taryn Winter Brill has more.
Behind every brand, there's a message.
To fly, to serve.
Are you in good hands?
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's family.
Strategic words that companies choose, hoping they'll catch on.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Lately, marketers seem to be drawn to one buzzword in particular.
Skinny.
Skinny. Called skinny jeans.
Skinny.
Kind of in right now.
I think that single word brings in a lot of consumers. Thin is out of reach, but skinny can be bought.
The buzz started around 2005 with the introduction of skinny jeans.
Good news, I got the skinny jeans zipped. Bad news, I can't breathe.
As the pants gained popularity, so did skinny.
It has moved into every product category imaginable. It's like a magic word. Small as a packaging idea is huge, especially for women.
Skinny Cow makes candy dreamier than ever.
All these things make you feel like I can have the indulgence, but I'm having less of it.
What does your perfect cup of coffee look like?
Even global brands are slimming down. In 2008, Starbucks launched the Skinny Latte.
One Diet Pepsi, please.
Diet Pepsi is now packaged in special skinny cans, and there's even skinny water.
But wait, when did water become fat?
But if you think skinny only applies to denim
Only
or
120
diets,
Temperature okay?
think again.
So I'm going to use a little of the Super Skinny Serum.
Paul Mitchell has a skinny line of hair products that promise to cut drying time and smooth out your hair.
And voila, I officially have skinny hair. But here's one question, does it make me look skinnier?
Absolutely.
Taryn Winter Brill, CBS News, New York.
And of course, there's skinny dipping.
Yes, there is, Chris. Nice work.
Joining us now is advertising and pop culture expert Barbara Lippert. Barbara, good to see you here this morning.
Good to see you.
Skinny used to be one of those words that everybody would shy away from, except for the words like I just mentioned. But now it's become one of the key buzzwords out there. What was the big shift?
Well, it was taboo before, but I guess the Real Housewives invented the word skinny. You know, someone like Bethany, who has a skinny girl line, she's not afraid to be brash and direct and say, you know, why don't you put your fork down? But, you know, the opposite, though, is true. She's really saying in her books that you should have real stuff and fresh stuff, but and take away from the dieting. Low fat, no fat has no meaning, and it's processed, it's bad, just have less. So we're moving on to, you know, simplifying and having less.
This is the Real Housewife from the Bravo series, the Real Housewives of New York. Another word I'm seeing crop up everywhere is artisan. Artisanal cheese, artisanal this, artisanal that. And I just saw a Wheat Thins commercial for it. Let's take a look.
This is wrong.
Dayglow cheese crackers are for kids. Try new Wheat Thins Artisan cheese crackers, made with authentic cheese from Vermont and Wisconsin. It's the cheese cracker that's all grown up.
So it gives you this feeling of there's somebody in a room, you know, cooking these things up. Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
taking more time on it.
It's always the pendulum swing. When we think things are over-manufactured and processed, we're so attracted to the handmade, the one-by-one. But when Domino's has artisan pizza, it's kind of hilarious because pizza, if you think about it, was supposed to be made one by one with the dough. And it's only companies like Domino's that came along and manufactured it. So now they're going back to the other extreme. These things become co-opted, trampled on, overused. They lose their meaning, and then it's on to the next buzzword.
Seems very classy, though, doesn't it? Wheat Thins.
Oh, completely.
And Doritos has an artisan line. You know, everything. Now the luxurious term is artisan.
And people are really convinced by all this, huh?
Well,
Does
it
have
gets
that
your
much of an
attention for
influence?
that moment. You know, you have to break through somehow. Things are changing so quickly, especially with the internet, that if you say the right word, you know, people's ears perk up and they think it's fancier or newer, they're more hip or in.
Well, let's go back in time a little here. You trace trends like this back in the 90s where the big word was extreme.
Absolutely. Yeah, extreme really started with, it was around earlier, but extreme sports. And anything that attracts teenage boys attracts advertisers. So we got extreme tacos, extreme deodorant, you know, everything, extreme toothpaste. And then we got extreme, exactly. But then when it was extreme plastic surgery, that got too creepy and icky. So it moved on, the body moved on to extreme houses.
Speaking of plastic surgery, it's interesting because back in the 80s, it was real. Real was the buzzword.
Absolutely. Wragge Reagan had just gotten in, Morning in America, and the reaction to that is they wanted to see gritty beef. They were tired of people moving to healthy food, so they wanted to bring beef back. And cigarettes were advertised as real for Winston, real food for real people, and Real Times, John Hancock, real life, real answers. Yeah. Suddenly, real had meaning, and then with reality shows, real has lost all meaning.
Interesting point. What do you think the buzzword of today is then?
Well, obviously occupy is a big word, but advertisers can't use that. Maybe social or smart cars, smart water, smartphones, anything to do with hyper-local, locavores, and virtual.
Virtual.
There you go. Write them down.
Thanks, Barbara.
Those are your big words. Barbara, thank you. Good to see you again here this morning.